Hello everyone, and welcome back to the baking series. Now, you may have just seen my starter video go out, and that's just how to take care of starter. Today, I'm going to show you what I did with that starter. So, I have it in a bowl here, so this is going to act as my yeast. Now, if you wanted to be more precise, what you could do is just use a scale to measure out how much weight per volume of starter you're using and subtract that from your recipe. But basically what I'm going to do is just create what I like to call a wet dough. And it's just going to be a dough that looks wet to my eyes. I don't know the percentage, so it's going to be somewhere around like 60 to 70% to 80% wet dough. But by the end, you just need to know by feel. And generally, I just go by the rule of if it's really sticky, it's probably fine. So today, we're going to make a wet, no-knead dough recipe. So what I like to start out with is getting 3 cups of flour, and I use 3 because I imagine that I have about 1 cup in that starter mixture right there, or a little bit less than, but that's totally fine. And it's okay if you go a little bit over or under. This recipe is really forgiving. And let me go ahead and get a measuring cup here. Alright, so we got our flour in here. Let me get a measuring cup, and I'm just going to get 2 cups of water right now. And that's just about 2 cups. It's not exactly 2 cups. What I'm going to do is add most of this water in, but not all of it. So I'm going to stop around there. I still have about half a cup left, and I'm just going to start mixing this in until I can get everything incorporated. And the best part about this dough is that it's pretty easy, it's pretty simple, and really all you need is just to kind of eyeball the ingredients. You'll kind of know by consistency after a while of what to do, and I am by no means a professional or an expert at this, but it's been working out so far. So I mean, it is definitely the most forgiving dough I've ever worked with. I've been getting good rises and everything. So let me just mix this up here. And I feel like I'm going to need a little bit more water. Usually I don't like to see any loose flour when I'm mixing this at all. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit more water. And you only want to add a little bit at a time. Because you can definitely go way too far, way too fast doing this method. But generally I found that it just usually works out in the end. And the reason why they call this a no-knead dough is because basically what you're going to do is kind of mix your ingredients together, and then once they're all mixed, you're just going to kind of set it and forget it, and let it kind of go up on its own. And basically, instead of using, you know, my mixing power and just kind of mixing this over and over again to create that gluten development, we're just going to let time create that gluten, and it's going to just kind of create all the strands and the structure that we need in this dough for it to rise and get a nice crumb anyway. So you can see that this dough is rather wet. If you can tell, it's really sticky, and everything is well combined now. So what I'm going to do is basically we're just going to cover this and set it aside for use. Okay, so let me go ahead and grab some, let me clean off my hand real quick and get some thing to wrap this with. So I'm just going to use press and seal. You can use cling wrap or whatever. This stuff's okay. Honestly, it's literally just okay. You can cover this with a damp paper towel or anything really. I'm just using this because it's literally what I had right next to me at the time. So now that we have this covered up, what we're going to do is just let it sit here. And this is the most basic dough. You could add stuff like a little bit of salt, a little bit of olive oil, depending on what you're making. So if you add some salt and olive oil, this can become a nice focaccia bread. or a great beginning to a grandma pie. But you can also add those ingredients a little bit later in the process too, if that's what you're going for. And I've done it and it's worked out successfully for me. But yeah, I just wanted to show you how I got my dough started. And you know, if you wanted to add the salt at this phase, what you can do is literally just mix it in right now. It's not going to make any difference. So I can add a big pinch of salt. Get this in there. You know, I'll add even a little bit more. It's like 3 big pinches. And just mix it around. And there we go. Just cover that up, set it and forget it, and you'll be good in no time. I usually let this either sit in the fridge for about 3 to 4 days to kind of either puff up, or if I want to use this tomorrow, I'll leave it out on the counter for 24 hours or however long until I need it, and then I'll use it. So you'll probably see this dough in another video, hopefully soon, and I just want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day, and bye.